I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Alright, back on Dracula. Last episode did some gameplay, seems to be working okay. But now is the dialing in, final tweaks, and gameplay testing. I gotta do a bunch of that. I've only played a couple games, so... Alright, let's see, what have I done so far? I did go over and check the fuses to make sure everything was what it should be. That one there, actually, is supposed to be a 3 amp slow blow. Now that is, let's see, that's F104 on the power driver board, which is for solenoids 9 through 16, so that was definitely overfused, so that's not cool. And then I did notice that the Fliptronics board here, there's 4 fuses. It's kind of hard to see. This is for upper right and upper left, lower right and lower left flippers. There was 2 fuses in here, which I just removed because you don't need them there. And one of them actually was 7 amp instead of 3 amp, so that was incorrect, but it was okay. But it leads me down the path of this transistor here, Q11, which has been changed. It's supposed to be a tip 102, like its neighbors. I don't know what the heck that is. SE9302. The screw's missing. I don't think that's a huge deal, but... So I've looked up in the schematics to find out what that is. And it is the hold power on the right flipper. So maybe the right flipper stopped working one day. They changed that transistor. Changed the fuse. Must have couldn't have blew one of those fuses at the top because they're not applicable. There's no upper flippers on this, so they're not used. Anyway, someone was tinkering around in that zone. I'm not sure why yet. So what I'm going to do is measure the voltage on the hold side of the flipper to make sure that, you know, it's reducing the voltage and not going to blow. Hasn't yet, so I don't think it will, but I don't think I've held the ball to... This is kind of a pretty much on the fly game. I don't seem to hold balls as much. The multi-balls can be pretty quick, but... Oh, look at this. That is... Oh, I think I did that. That's a tip 36C. I think that was one of the many things I tried to resolve that up-down ramp issue in the shooter lane there. Yeah, I think I recall that. Wow, what a pain I went through. What is this? A little bit of crud. Oh, it's thermal grease that probably dripped out from the bridge here. Okay. Okay, so what else I did was I borrowed the old Fliptronics board from Fishtails. Thank you, Fishtails. Much appreciated. And I just stuck it into Dracula. Because Fishtails, you know, I can wait a little bit to play that. I may have one of these boards in storage. I'm going to go look maybe later today. But I did pull out. Here's the old Dracula one. You can get a better view from it now. Or view of it. But definitely some stuff going on there. Any of these been changed? Let's see. ECG54. This last one looks maybe a little different. So it might have been something going on with that, but check out the back. Definitely has suffered. You know what? If this all just pertains to the high voltage section, I could just stick it in Fishtails, because Fishtails has color DMD and doesn't use the high voltage section. So, I mean, it's not pretty, but if you're not using that section, then there's really no need to repair it. Who's going to go from color DMD to orange dots on a fishtails one day if I ever sell it? That would just be dumb. So I'll research this a little more thoroughly and see if in fact all this hackage is high voltage section. If so, I may just pop it into fishtails and call it a day. So that's actually not a bad idea. What else we got? So, yeah, check the fuse. Got the new Fishtails Fliptronics board. No, that is a display board. That's the Fliptronics board. So that's all been checked. And yeah, so I'm just gonna keep plugging away. Oh yeah, I gotta measure the voltage on the hold side of the flipper. See if it matches the other side and figure out how to do that. Make sure that that's all good. All right, I think I run into a bit of an issue. Let's see if it's still screwy. Oh, look at that. With the new with Fishtails display board in there, not getting a whole lot of love. So what happened? Is this not the same board? Let's compare. Let's see. I don't see any differences. Oh, that big blue capacitor on the bottom left is a replacement. Other than that, it looks friggin' identical, so... What gives, man? Why? There's no, like, game ROM on there. Okay, well, I got some figuring to be doing, I guess. Oh, okay, check this out. So, here's the original Dracula display driver, 5760-12710. Here's Fishtails. 12710, revision 6. They're both exactly the same. So, I don't know what I am doing wrong. I checked my ribbon cables. No make any sense. I'll be back. Alright, just another shenanigander moment. As usual, I caused my own issues on many occasions. When I was removing these fuses, I removed this connector and this connector. And I must have had this not on properly because I just reseated it and look what we get. So display is happy now. I'll tighten my screws and then now I can move on to testing my flipper voltage. Okay, let's do that next. Okay, so I found out that the transistor on the Fliptronics board that was replaced is an SE9302. We discovered that, but I found out that it is compatible. You can use a tip 102. That's a replacement for a tip 102. So the transistor they used in there is actually fine. So I expect that to be okay. So I think I'm moving on to some play testing now. See if anything pops up. Oh, I do have to test see if the left gate works. We haven't really tested that yet. Now, when I first got the machine, if I recall correctly, I'm pretty sure I was missing this whole... I think I was missing this piece here. Maybe not the top of the gate, but I think I was missing the arm of the gate. Which reminds me, inside the cabinet, there is this. Look at this. Is that what originally was there or something? Yeah, that's probably... Okay, I get it now. I think that this top piece was missing. And this must have been loitering around. But I bought the whole gate and, you know, bracket. So that's the original. Okay. That is all adding up. So, yeah, so that was all missing. The spring was missing. There was much shenanigans going on there. So, my concern is that once the ball, like if the mist travels, it usually stages in the right? Travels across to the left side. If you don't hit it, it will stage in this spot here. But I don't see how that gate really holds it in there. So maybe it's just gravity at the play field at the right angle. I can, you know, if the magnet's dragging the ball back across, you almost don't even need this solenoid to lift the gate, because, I mean, there's almost zero resistance there. So I guess that's just the way it is. So I need to test the ball going from left to right in the mist multi-ball, and just see how secure a ball is when it's staged on the left side. So I'm going to work on that now. Oh, I was just sitting here and it launched the ball by itself. Why did it do that? Timed flipper. There's a setting for timed flipper. Okay, I need to check on that. That was not why I hit record. Why did I hit record? I just gave the playfield a little bit more of a vacuum. Oh, when I came down this morning, I noticed, here's my window, sunlight beaming down right on the corner of my Dracula. So, we can't have that. Oh, that looks like just a bit of a rubbage going on there. So I stuck up a Wizard Bally promo flyer in the window there, so that that blocks the sun. We don't want any fading going on. That is also not why I hit record. Why did I hit record again? I completely got distracted by that. Let's go into settings here. Adjustments, standard adjustments. There's, you know, there's a setting where if you hit both flippers, it'll launch the ball. Or if you take too long, it'll just fire the ball. We can't be having that. GI power saver. No, that's not it. Game restart. So maybe it's in feature adjustments. Ball time, 35 seconds. Ball saver, 2 seconds. Whoa. What else do we got? These are all like very game specific. Usually stuff like ball flipper launch is standard adjustments because it's not game specific. What? Fancy? Flipper plunger. Ah, there's one. So that's if you hit both flipper. Time plunger is off. So we're gonna have to figure that out. For some reason it launched the ball by itself. But if that was on after however many seconds, it would launch the ball if you're not paying attention. Okay, now I remember why I hit the record button in the first place. We wanted to test our end of stroke switches. Listen for it. There we go. Left flipper end of stroke. Hey, this says right flipper end of stroke. What does the left one say? Okay, no, that's all fine and dandy. So I have a feeling that the reason the ball launched out of here is maybe there's some other switch either closed or that registered unnecessarily. Maybe the long opto beam just kind of flickered, or you know, if the tilt bob, if I bumped into the cabinet, as soon as you hit any switch on the playfield, a ball will launch out of the shooter lane typically, but I wasn't even near it, so I'm not too concerned about that just yet. But anyway, I think my flippers are good for end of stroke switches anyways. Oh, now we got to test the mist. So okay, I accidentally hit stop on the last clip there, but it was at a fine and dandy time. Okay, time to test the mist. That's cool every friggin' time, isn't it? Okay, oh look, the gate's up and the gate's down. Okay. That's pretty cool. So is the gate then mainly just to stop the balls colliding into each other? Okay, so the trick now is... Oh shit, I just ended my game. So, well, that's cool. The gate appears to work and do what it needs to do. So now I got to throw it in mist again, and then see if it works going back the other way. Okay, here we go. I just drained to ball 3 so that I could try and get mist. Get in there. Okay, here we go. Gate open. Let's see how it works going to the other side. Oh, I heard the gate open. There we go. Voila. Okay. That's pretty sweet. I think I'm probably going to put on my building sooner or later. But I gotta play some test games first, cause why not? Oh, and thanks Henry for your suggestions, or he's got a Dracula too, and we're talking about this a little bit. See, these are the only 2 standoffs here that you screw the building to, and that's some funky tunes going on here. Some high-pitched jingle going on there that sounds a little interesting. I should check on both speakers, make sure they're both good. So subtle. But yeah, so these are the only 2 standoffs that the building screws into. And like I mentioned, look at this. There's like no space. The building has to fit in between here, okay? So maybe my issue is that this little arm here is bent out too far, and I need to push that arm in, because it's actually, this plate here is not even really touching that arm. So I think that that arm here needs to be bent back, thereby moving that out of the way to a point where it's not actually lifting the gate, because it's like a backstop and it's not doing its job, right? So, and then if I just push that back a little bit, maybe loosen the spring a little bit, spread the spring outward a little bit more, then I can make space for the building and everybody will be happy. So that's probably good. We'll try that, but you probably don't need to send me photos. You'll probably send me photos before you even see this anyway, but you never know. It might not be bad to see what your area looks like actually. Yeah, that'd be cool. So thanks, Henry, and yeah, all right, I'm gonna mess with that now. All right, there we go. I bent that little arm back. Now, the plate is actually resting on it. It's doing its job now, and I didn't even have to adjust the spring. Everything's fine and dandy there. So now I have a little bit more room for my building to slip in there. It's still pretty tight, and I may adjust it a little more, but that might have been all I needed. Okay, I talked to my board guy, Tommy Pinball. Thanks again, Brent. It was a wealth of knowledge. So I asked him if this was just the high voltage section. He said, yep, you could pull the 2 high voltage fuses and use it for an LED LCD display, no problem. So I pulled the fuses, and we're gonna check that theory out and see if Fishtails is good to go without any of the high voltage. Well, I know it's good without the high voltage section, but you know, I guess a lot of these components are for that, so we should be good to go. Let's pop it in and see. All right, there's the Dracula display driver. Actually, what is it called? The dot matrix controller board is the technical name. So that is now in Fishtails, and let's see how Fishtails likes it. Oh, there's a little bit of a weird glitch there. What was that all about? Didn't like that. There it is. Oh, okay, that's just some startup garbage, which I think I've seen before. Let's start a game. Yep, sounds fine, looks good. I can't see where the ball is though. But, yeah, I think that was a sufficient resolution, swapping the dot matrix controller boards. I am good with that. Okay, two things have happened. One is that I am noticing some weird audio issue. I was just sitting on the phone there talking away and I heard some noise come out of here, but it was very subtle. And then I turned the volume up and it just went back to normal. And I thought there was something fishy going on a little bit before too. So I don't know if that has anything to do with me changing the Fliptronics board, which wouldn't make any sense, but you never know. Remember I had some crazy sound issues with Funhouse that I never was able to really resolve except by swapping the soundboards with fishtails. Yeah, so anyway, there's something weird going on with the sound. And number two, I went to play a test game. The flippers aren't working. So I just installed the two fuses, F901 and 902, which are, where are they? Upper flippers. So those fuses apparently are for the upper flippers. And now that I installed them again, my flippers are working again. So, is that a mistake? Do they need to be in there to complete the circuit? Maybe that's all it is. Okay, so flippers are good. Everything's good except the sound. So I'm gonna play some test games, see what happens. And I wonder if it's about time that this ball is gonna launch automatically now too. I'll probably throw that on the list as well. But, alright, finally, play test time. Okay, so I played a couple test games, and when the ball was in the left missed zone during a during single ball play, I did accidentally knock that ball out. It doesn't take much. But as soon as that came out, the opto recognized that and immediately staged another ball on the right. So I was able to play two-ball illegal multi-ball for a couple seconds there, but then I drained one ball to see what would happen after the ball had been staged there. And it resumed normal play, except the ball was now on the right stage instead of the left stage. So upon closer examination, I did determine that my gate was up a little smidge from my previous adjustment. So I just mucked with it a little bit more, and now it's basically as far down as it goes, and that lifts it up nice and tall. Now, I was talking about how the gate, you know, is responsible for opening up so that the ball could exit, but I realized that yes, it does that, but it's also more important for the entrance, because if it doesn't go up, it will not be able to enter. So I needed to make sure that this was going up enough to get the ball access to get in there. So I think I might have that adjusted good now, but the question is, will it be okay when I stuff my building in there, or is it gonna mess with that a little bit more? So that's yet to be determined. I just want to make sure, again, like I said, everything's functional before I put those things on. And I think the little audio issue I thought might be an issue might not be an issue. I don't know yet. I'm just keeping my ear on it. So we'll see about that. Other than that, seems to be playing good. No issues yet. What did I... Oh yeah, so just the ball auto-launching by itself that one time. Odd audio, I'm keeping my eye on that. the rat's kick out, the scoop and the rat's kick out's pretty inconsistent and kind of weird, so I may mess with that. And I reversed my glass because there was more big scratch on the one side that was more visible than the other side. So I just swapped my glass around. So that's all that's going on now. I'm gonna play a couple more games, but yeah, we'll see if anything else comes up. Alright, well, I played a few test games. See if I can spell my name correct. This is not like anything epic, but I got very close to stacking all 3 multi-balls. I had my mist going across to get the 3rd multi-ball, go for the super stack. But in trying to knock the mist ball off its course, I lost all the other balls basically. So, but everything is behaving very, very, very nicely. So I am thoroughly pleased. This is probably going to be the end of this video series because there's really nothing left. Put on my buildings, the last tweaks if any other come up, any other gremlins pop up. But this game is freaking cool. It's really like kind of 2 main shots, and those are the main ones, right? So it's a lot of those shots, but it's still just friggin' epic and classic. And I will do a gameplay video on it at some point. But yeah, that is basically the end of the Dracula series. So that was a quick one, but it was mostly done. I'm going to pull out something next time that's going to be a lot more work. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but I need some space first before that happens. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.